everyone. Um, Let me read. This morning I'm reading from the book of Second Timothy 2, 4 through 7, which says, Soldiers don't get tied up in the affairs of civilian life, for then they cannot please the officer who enlisted them. And athletes cannot win the prize unless they follow the rules. And hardworking farmers should be the first to enjoy the fruit of their labor. Think about what I'm saying. The Lord would help you understand all these things. And today, I'm just grateful for life, health, strength. Grateful for God's grace and His mercy, my wife, my children, each and every one of you, my friends, my men's group, my church. So much things to be grateful for. Uh, in this particular part of the scripture, I saved it because it was the ending part of it. Say the Lord will help you understand all these things, and that's true, right? And but these are some very, very low key, like slick, powerful messages right here. Soldiers don't get tied up in the affairs of civilian life, for they cannot please the officer who enlists them. And as Christians, that's something what's so important to us right there. Like, we can't be getting mixed up in people who ain't Christians' business. You know what I mean? The lifestyle what people live in, if people live in a lifestyle that's not of ours, it's very easy to get caught up in in one of those lives, like a secular life, or be caught up in something like what is not of God. If you keep surrounding yourself with them people, I always remember back in the day, one of my friends used to tell me, if you sit in a barber shop long enough, you can leave with a haircut, right? And it is true, and that's sort of what this verse is saying. If you surround yourself with people like who are not of God all the time, like sooner or later you're gonna find yourself in compromising positions. You will find yourself in positions that God won't be pleased with. The same way as it was a captain or officer in the army would be. In the second part of the scripture, he says, and athletes cannot win the prize unless they follow the rules. And that's true. We can't get to heaven unless we follow the rules. As Christians, we know the rules. Like the rules are very much laid out to us. It's plain. We understand like what we have to do to get to where we want to be. And the last part of it, he says, hardworking farmers should be the first to enjoy the fruit of their labor, right? And that's true. You know, like as a Christian, like don't downplay your blessing. And that was something that I had to come to grips with. And I still coming to grips with it. But like when God bless you with something, enjoy it. Like don't feel guilty for being blessed. And that's something that like we have to understand and we have to know. Like sometimes it's okay to say no. It's okay to enjoy like something that God bless you with. Like I strongly and I at first I used to be like, man, I have to feel inclined to do this, or I have to feel inclined to do that. But then I also have to realize that like I have to enjoy what I've worked hard for too as well. You understand me? Like I can't just continue to turn over everything that like God has blessed me with. God gave me the opportunity. God gave me the will. God gave me the strength to go and do this. Now I set out my portion, but there's also a portion that God has set aside for me. You see what I'm saying? Like God asks us to give his 10% in tithing. You understand? That means that there's an additional 90% for us to figure out what to do for us. As hardworking farmers, you don't think it's time that we at least stop and pick one of the fruit? And so don't be embarrassed about your blessing, and don't feel guilty for doing something for yourself, for eating your fruit. Especially if it's something that you worked hard for and that God has blessed you with the opportunity to be able to do. Sometimes treat yourself. you know Treat yourself. Don't say don't treat yourself, don't beat yourself. Treat yourself. So today is Friday. If you guys have an opportunity and you worked hard all week, sometimes it's good to just decompress, hit one spa,